Hello again, everybody. I'm Luke Lee, back with you for Game 2 of the Women's Tournament at the EBLC 2026. Well, the first game already taught us something. It was a Germany 9, Ireland 4 game, and it wasn't the scoreline that told that story. It was how they got there. Ireland hung around tough early, even answered with a couple fast breaks goal to pull it even, and then eventually Germany did what good box lacrosse teams did, and they moved the ball. They had 7 different scorers, and they were the more physical team when it got heavy. So Ireland's American imports went quiet, and Germany pulled away. So here's the question. Israel comes in built largely around American imports, skilled, well-coached, team that wants to play a clean, possession-based game. The Netherlands are a lot bigger, they're more physical, and a program that put on a world floor, a world championship floor. A different group than that one, but the pedigree is definitely there for Israel as the opening face-off. Going to go Israel as Annabelle Gersh, the one out there for Israel, number 10, Sophie Kudut for Netherlands. So here comes Israel. Trying to get this one around here is one of the big differences between the previous game between Germany and Ireland was Germany's ability to move the ball around, unlike Ireland, and a strong start for Israel. Nice cut. And that was Hannah Hilkoff who had the shot, ultimately off target. As the Netherlands will start getting things going as Fem Backer. She'll drop it off to Romy Healings. And back off to Van Versel. Van Versel up top, rolls out to the right, takes a shot off the bottom left side of the goal. Gonna go back, and one shot for each team off the pipes for the Netherlands. As Israel will take possession, pass too high for Duffy. She is able to get on top of it. Now Hilkoff has it, looks to set up possession now. Back to Courts, who lost it, and now taken away by the Netherlands. That's Heuvel, who pass it off. Now looking for Van Heuvel, who can't bring it in as Van Servelt loses it. That's Demmer. That's a scrum for the ball that Israel looked like for a second Israel was going to win it, and they will take it. So here comes Rosen. Rachel Rosen gonna take this one behind the net. Didn't see a whole lot of that in the Germany-Ireland game, so we'll see how much either one of these teams try to utilize behind the net. They're trying to wrap around off the cut. Pass was too high for Bolin, as that was Udding who had the catch from around the corner. It's now picked up by Rosen, who tries to take the shot again and loses track of it. And now Netherlands will flip the script here as Delaney Keane. She'll drop it off to Sophie Kudut. Pass goes into the glass and going back towards Israel. It's a new sub in for Israel. Pass caught by Samantha Fisher. She'll fake the give to Smith. Now she does. Pass it off. Now it goes to Smith up top. Back around for Israel. Some good ball movement early on. Leighton back to Smith. Cut was there. As Fisher, she'll get back on top of it. Tough physical defense from the Netherlands as Israel trying to get something going. Shot clock going to expire, it looks like. But Israel will retain possession as back in front. Nice hit by the Netherlands. Abigail Smith was a cutter, and she was there, but a strong hit for the Netherlands defense as another hit. It's Abigail Smith getting her revenge. She landed a nice hit herself on Manuk Volbert, who was wide open on a 2v1 with the goalie. Here comes Israel to go behind the net again. As trying to wrap around with a jump shot. Won't stay fair as the Netherlands will take over again as Emily Demmer is going to hold on to it. Demmer gets a pick from Keane. She'll pass it off here to Kudut. Dumps it off and ball goes off the wall, so back to Israel we go. It's Levy Smith who slows down, goes from left to right, back to the right, drops it back off to her teammate Shira Power. Ball goes into the face of the photographer, and new subs for both Israel and the Netherlands. So we are still scoreless. About 4 minutes so far in this game, as I was saying earlier, as the play ticket away here. A one-on-one with the goal! And what a stop from Dara Said, as remember, Team Israel a little bit slow to get up. That was Julia Rowland, but able to get up, picks up her stick, and she's back to going. So drop it off to Abigail Smith. Up top, Smith taking the ISO. Eventually she'll just jump that off. On the ground, it's Rosen. Back to Smith. Another nice save here from Daria Said. As here comes the Netherlands once again. That's Verseveld. She'll pass it out to Wolbert. Wolbert trying to take this one down the alley herself, not quite able to do so. Whistles. And substitutions. Both teams will commence as we will have, it looks to be a penalty box, or a penalty. Might have, no, it's actually my mistake. I called that wrong. Nada. Either way, around 10 minutes left in the first quarters. Netherlands will, and no, now a member of Team Israel is heading to the box as Abigail Smith is going to get 2 minutes. So the first power play for either team to start this one out. That's Femke Baker. Drops it off. Netherlands getting it around. Now step in, nice move. Shot taken and denied by Israel, as they had room for a step down shot. A shot from the outside. I believe that was Bellamy Persad with the shot. So it'll be a timeout. Minute and a half. Still for Abigail Smith, give or take, on the penalty. So when we come out of the timeouts, it'll still be a woman up situation for the Netherlands and a power play opportunity for them, as neither teams from the Germany-Ireland game from earlier were able to capitalize off the power play. So we'll see if early on if the Netherlands can do so. So back from the timeout. Getting things set up. Pass wide down the field for Annabelle Gersh. Going to end up in the stick of the goalie, Daria Said, who just checks it down to the other side of the floor for Israel. So here comes not Abigail Smith. Excuse me, that was Brooke Frischman. Nice spin move. Well, actually was Smith. So I have the wrong player in the box. P. Bautel Ekele. Either way, Smith is out there. She is out there. So that's my mistake on the player in the box. A shot taken by Verseveld, and a deep pass down the field for Pinch. And almost a goalie assist as Rosen not able to quite put it on the money. Then Rowland tried to go with a sidearm shot, took a bit of a beating for it. Another save for the Netherlands, back-to-back for Saeed. So bouncing off the wall is the Netherlands, but they'll go back to the other side. So here comes Israel. Here comes Hannah Hilkoff. She'll drop it off to Duffy. Duffy dumps it. Over to Layton. Back to Duffy. Back up top to Elkele, so she's not the one in the box. Dropping down. Shot taken! And again denied by Saeed. So now we are back to even strength. That was Duffy with the shot. Has the cutter, so Hilkoff up top. Another cut late. And not anything for Israel, as that'll go behind the line, but Israel will retain possession. Shot clock resets back to 30. Hilkoff again from the top right, drops it down underneath. Back up to Hilkoff. She'll move it around, directs traffic. Hilkoff gonna go behind the net again. And some tough defense from the Netherlands. That's Kudut, who's all over her. And now they'll go back up top. This is Smith. Takes the sidearm shot. And again, that is Daria Saeed, she has been on one to start one out, as Kimberly Verbin will take it. Now drop back off up top. That's the Walberts. Pass too far behind for Keene. Now picked up by Israel. And they got back up on top of it. Here comes Udding, a one-on-one with the goal, and again Saeed! Deflection and rejection. As we are still tied at 0 apiece. Here comes Van Verseld, a shot taken off the fast break. Too high, bouncing off the walls, but the Netherlands had it for a second. Now a one-on-one opportunity for Brooke Frischman. One-on-one with the goalie, and again, Saeed right in front of it. Brooke Frischman tried to get her with the bouncer. And you can see it here. This is a number of great saves from Saeed early on. As again, she makes another one. That shot was taken from Hilkoff. As Baker goes down, goes Netherlands ball. Here comes Verbum, drops it back off underneath. Shot taken off the sidearm by Bilson, or by Van Bilson, but unfortunately not able to layer that one in. So tough defense from Levy Smith, just getting it off, a diving shot for Israel, but the shot off by Layton. As here comes Verbum, has a 2-on-1, tight physical defense from Israel. As that was Rowland and Rosenberg who combined to take her down. As here comes Israel again. Neither offense yet to put anything on here with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Nice spin and move as the shot was a little bit off for Samantha Smith. Look, as she had it there, but not able to finish the whole thing. As another one-on-one opportunity for Van Verseld. She tries to break off the coverage, steps in front of the net, but unfortunately not going to get Pinch with the fake off, as Pinch, I guess, thought Ava Smith was going to keep going deeper. She falls down and ultimately goes back to the Netherlands, as will stay in transition. As a nice stick right there. As shot taken again. And goal! Mackenzie Cowitz, she just kept going on that play. I didn't even see it for a second. As Cowitz with 4:21 in the first quarter. Again, she picks it up, she takes the initial shot, it's saved, and then she fakes it. And then it goes off the stick of the defender, Neidem, and you can see she was trying to knock it out, but unfortunately just dumps it back in. So a miscommunication for the Netherlands, and ultimately ends up in the first score for Israel, as Baker not able to corral the face-off for the Netherlands. And here comes Israel. Nice cutter As Rowland hangs on to it, goes behind the net. Now Cutter in front, and another goal for Israel. Hannah Hilkoff. That's Rowland to Hilkoff. Rowland takes it down, goes behind the net, and then a perfect set-off for Hannah Hilkoff as the Cutters here for Israel. So you can see right there, that was number 32, Bente van Bilsen, who just slides a little bit early as Rowland was going around from behind, and then Hilkoff was left practically wide open. And all of a sudden, after the first 10 minutes, producing no goals, 2 for Israel. It's a fast break for the Netherlands, a shot taken and denied. A shot taken by Keene, as she still has it. Another shot taken from Keene, not able to finish it. Yeah. Appears to be a timeout again, this time for the Netherlands. So a nice start for Israel. The back-to-back goals. They had the error, essentially, from the self-goal from the Netherlands, and then was the cutting goal on the next that gave them the 2-0 lead. Then ultimately, Netherlands goes right down, and Delaney Keene almost doing it all herself to give Israel, to keep Israel up 2-0, but the Netherlands able to establish something at the very least. Get things going, as was Hannah Hilkoff who had the most recent goal for Israel. As for the team full of American imports and against a team like the Netherlands that's known for its physicality, as you see that even with the late hit a little bit from Van Bilsen, you can see the physicality and the size for Netherlands, but Israel's finesse and the lacrosse IQ is definitely shown early, as going into Smith. Tries to fight off. Falls into the GLE. Here comes the Netherlands. It's Klassen, she drops it off. Van Verselt, as Van Verselt has some room, cuts it off underneath, and shot too high for Baker off the glass. Or Baker shot too high off the glass. It's back to the Israel as we go, as here comes Ava Smith. Drops it off up top to Gersh. Gersh out to Fisher. Fisher back to Gersh. Gersh looking for the step down, won't take it, goes back outside, step down shot taken into the boards. And no cigar for Israel. That was Rosen with the step down shot, as shot clock runs out, and go back to the Netherlands. Spice. Drops it off, and this will be another penalty. This time it'll be on the Netherlands, as Israel will have its first power play opportunity, as Kimberly Verboom going to be the one entering the box for the Netherlands. So the tough physical defense will have to continue here for the Netherlands, as they're down 2-0 already, as Rowland drops it back off to Wilcott. It's back up top for Israel. Shot taken by Hilkoff, and deflecting, picked up by Fisher. Fisher looks around, back up top to Rowland. Rowland steps back inside, tough physical defense, as that is Fisher. Now wrapping around behind the net was Hilkoff. Took some punishment. ultimately not able to advance. So here's Klassen, and she's got a 1-on-2 with the net, and she missed that. Just a little bit off on the bouncer. Tried to go with the flick of the wrist, and fortunately not able to do much with it. So here comes Israel. Annabelle Gersh drops it off. Back outside, sidearm shot by Samantha Smith. Unfortunately, not going anywhere for hers. Daria Saeed has continued to play well. She only really gave it the one goal, which is on an easy cut. It's the 2-on-1 fast break for Israel, neutralized by the Netherlands. As about 20 seconds left here in the power play for Israel. Is playing without a stick right now is Sophie Kudut, as wide open is Bente Van Bilsen. She had it for a second. Van Bilsen makes a move, tries to drop it underneath the Van Verveld, and she loses it. So Israel back on top. It's passed too far going into the stands where the Ireland women's team is sitting and watching this game, and almost got pelted with a ball right there. A minute left here in the first quarter. Here comes Femke Baker. She takes it from the upside, takes it from top side and rolls around up top. Out to Wilbert. Again, tough physical defense from Israel. That's Healings who loses it now. Back to Israel to take it away. This is Rosenberg. Down the alley, now back up top. Just drops it off to Smith. Smith takes her time. Israel's done a good job of moving this ball around and making sure everyone's getting touches. It's back up top to Smith. Shot taken from Kowitz. And it'll stay Israel ball. And that'll do it. Or no, excuse me, that'll actually be a timeout. My mistake. Still 10 seconds left in the opening quarter, so not much more to go with. As it's been a exciting first quarter here in Prague, is outside of the self goal from the Netherlands and the cutter and Hilkoff, who was wide open. It's been a lot of defense, a lot of goalie, a lot of goaltending, and Israel taking a timeout, trying to get something going. They've shown a lot of ingenuity with their offense and their ability to set up different players from different spots. It's not just see who's open and throw it. They're running an actual offense out here. They've had quite a bit of success, and Netherlands have played tough defensively, but when you're going against an offense that's out here running a bunch of different plays, and with a lot of speed and finesse that Israel has, it's tough. 15 seconds left in regulation, or first quarter, excuse me. Pass too high for Fisher, over to Rosen, now back underneath. Back to Rosen. She rolls around, tries to go behind. Just a couple seconds left, off the walls, and that'll do it for the opening quarter of the second game and game 2 of 3 of the women's tournament in day 1 of the European Box Lacrosse Championship Series. It's the end of the first quarter. 2-0 Israel over the Netherlands. One away so far for Israel. Started out here. You see the self goal. That was Kenzie Kowitz who set it up, and then bouncing off the stick of Neidem that ultimately goes in and technically counts as a goal for Kowitz. And then Hannah Hilkoff, who see in a moment, potentially. Was open off the cut and was able to bring in, so you'll see it right here. They're going back behind the net, and then Hannah Kilkoff comes right down, slide just a little bit late, or a little bit early, excuse me, by Verboom, crashing down behind the net and then setting that up exactly the way Israel wanted it. You can see another angle there once again. A tight shot window. Saeed, who's had a number of saves on her own today. So far, Israel 3-0 in the face-off department, taking 17 shots compared to the 3 for the Netherlands. And of the 3 shots, or the 3 shots the Netherlands do have that are on goal, they've had 4 that have gone wide, which included 1 on a fast break. So they're definitely going to need more out of their offense. They want to stick around in this one. Goaltending for both teams hasn't been the worst. Saeed's had a number of nice stops herself, and can't fault her when one of the goals given up, she saved, and then her own defender knocked it in, obviously by accident, but still a goal given up. So 2-0, start of the second period. Our second quarter here in Prague is face-off taken and won by Annabelle Gersh, and she gets hit into the boards by Kudu, but still picked up by Israel. It's Frischman who initially had it. Dropped it off to Udding. Here comes Hilkoff, who has the goal. She goes back outside to Gersh. And going behind, here comes Israel. Pass low and hard to Fisher. Bounces it off to Fender. Taken down by 2 defenders. That'll easily be a cross-check for the Netherlands. Is now the second power play opportunity for Israel, and it'll be Delaney Keene. Went to the box for the Netherlands, and up another 2-minute penalty, so 4 minutes of penalty time already for the Netherlands, as Israel up 2-0, looking to really take it to them. Just getting it around, a couple skip passes. Hilkoff taking it to Saeed, went right down the middle. Is now picked back up, big hit on Fisher, who got absolutely cracked by Van Bilsen. There's now a penalty on Israel. On Julio Rowland, who asked him, the ref, what she saw. So 2 minutes for Israel, now 1 minute and 27 left for the Netherlands, and it'll be 33 seconds of Netherlands power play after Keene is released from the box. Here comes Ramsey, cut her in, stop running. That was Persad. Going back into the wall from Udding. Now down the alley, here comes the Netherlands, and a shot taken by Van Verselden. Denied from Israel. Clear down the floor. Here comes Smith, some adjustments for both sides. So again, you're going to drop this one off. This is Layton. Up back top, back to Smith. Gets the pick from Cowitz. Rolls back around to Layton, who takes the sidearm. Shot goes down. Looks like it actually might have gone through the legs of Saeed, but either way, shot clock expired before the shot went off, and here comes the Netherlands. Just 20 seconds left for the original penalty for them, and Now under 50 seconds left for Israel. This ball picked up by the Netherlands is trying to go a skip pass over the top. That was Baker, excuse me. And it's Wolbert. Tries to get it out, losing it. And now got 20 seconds left of a power play for the Netherlands. And see how much of that time is spent with Israel possessing the ball. Fast game so far is not a lot of stoppages like in the first one. As here comes Leighton from up top. She gets it back around. It's Fisher. Tries to reverse the field. Shot taken down low at the feet of Saeed. Another save and rejection for the Netherlands as Fisher still had it. It's going back down low. That's Rowland. Was in the penalty box earlier. Going back to Fisher. Took the shot. As getting right in front of the net was Hillcop, looking for a second, not able to do so. As Saeed rejects another one. Pass was way too far for Neidham. As again, Israel will pick it back up and got a 1v1 to the goal. Rosenberg in front of the net, shot taken and denied by Saeed. Here comes the Netherlands once again as Kudud sets it up. Had Keane, but the shot was a little bit off. Trying to feed it back to Keane. That was Ramsey. Back to Udding for Israel. Now over the top, what a beautiful throw. So Israel will continue to move this one. It's Leighton who took a shot trying to get it off to Fisher. Now it's Netherlands' ball. It's again tough defense from Samantha Smith. She was throwing Van Verselt into the boards. As perfect pass taken from Van Verselt. The shot was taken from Wibbert, and it was nearly in for Israel, or for the Netherlands. Is a deep clear from Israel. And that was from one side of the floor to the other to Julia Rowland. Shot taken from Hillcop and rejected again. Nice shot here from Leighton. She's made a nice move. Fortunately rejected by Saeed as we got a little bit of extra credit going on the far end of the floor as this game's starting to get a little bit physical. A little bit chippy, and that's what we like to see here in box lacrosse. You got the extra padding for a reason. And unlike in women's field lacrosse, this is a game where it's not finesse, it's not speed, it's about the physicality. And we have definitely seen that so far, both teams, but I've seen quite a bit from Israel as we'll have a player for the Netherlands go into the box. It's going to be Eva Klassen. So 2 more minutes for Israel, and the power play already up by 2 as Hillcroft drops it off. That was a Julia Rowland. Now they'll go back behind the net. That was Fisher. Drops it back to Hillcop. Shot taken. Another shot taken from Fisher. Back-to-back rejected by Saeed. Now back up top to Hillcop. A step-down shot. And Saeed will take it away as a timeout. Still 1:41 for Israel on the power play. So look to make some adjustments. So far, 6 penalty minutes for the Netherlands and 2 for Israel so far. About 20 seconds left in the timeout. Starting to get some people to populate the stands here in Prague as tournament's starting to really get underway. And a lot of that physicality that we saw from Germany in the first game, if you were watching that, in their 9-4 win against Ireland, has shown up here as both teams have had their fair share of physical moments, to say the least. Now the Netherlands will try to fit the field. A fast break opportunity for Van Bilsen. Foot of the net she goes. Pinch will deny that. Israel will flip the field. Here comes Brooke Frischman, dropping it off to Ava Smith. And the big difference so far in this one has definitely been Israel's ability not only move this ball around and find some ingenuity with their offense, with their cutters, which set up their first goal. As you've seen their offense, they've been moving the whole time. They are not standing in the same place. They are going around. They're moving to different spots of the field. And it's creating a lot of different shot opportunities for them. And like they said, hey, if you're going to shoot 40, 50 times in a game, they don't have to be perfect shots. If you're going to get the numbers, just trucking right there. Levy Smith. That was Viher Schur. As Fulberg fighting through the contact, had it. And now here comes Levy Smith, who loses it, picked up by Rosenberg for Israel. She'll head down, reverses back upfield. Here comes Israel. Samantha Fisher will just hold it on for a second. Here's Smith, shot taken on the set down sidearm. And Samantha Smith gonna make it 3-0 Israel. Not a whole lot was going for a little bit. As Samantha Fisher just dropped off, the Netherlands were a little bit too late to adjust, and Samantha Smith just winding it up on the sidearm step down and putting it right at the feet of Saeed, just outside, and not a whole lot of prettier shots than that. It'll be a 3-0 lead for Israel. Smith going to recover, takes a shot. Or Fisher, excuse me, that was the one that picked it up and took a shot on the hit. So Israel will make more adjustments, and again, more cutters as the pass was too high for Samantha Fisher. Now taken away from the Netherlands. This is Delaney Keene, has a one-on-one opportunity. Fisher giving chase. Eventually, Ava Pinch able to deny that one. But either way, back behind the goal, another shot taken. And again denied for Israel. And now Israel with another fast break of their own opportunity, but unfortunately pass was too far for them. And again looking to set something up, but might have to just slow it down. Sidearm shot from Fisher on the step down, and not able to put it through, as going for Van Versel on the clear deep, and it's pretty clear she was not aware that ball was coming to her. Here comes Brooke Frischman again on the one-on-one. Frischman dumps it off to Rosenberg. Rosenberg's going to take it back up. She'll go up top. Now back to Frischman. Back to Rosen. Back to Smith. Too high. Going to Rowland. And Israel will keep possession. So early contact, it looked like, for a second by Saeed, or by Van Bilsen, but either way, Israel unbothered will keep going. Skip pass over the top, gonna wrap around the goal. Now in front of the goal, shot taken from Rosen. And Back around for Israel it goes. Shot clock. We're set. Rolling step down shot. A save from Saeed. She'll take it away from Israel, and it remains a 3-0 game here. With a little under 6 minutes left in regulation. As losing the ball in her stick was Femke Baker. Again, tight physical defense from Israel. It's going to roll out. Abigail Smith will try to clear this one deep down the field. It's Annabelle Gersh who's got it now. She'll try to settle it. Gersh out to Cowitz. Israel tried to claim goal, but referees think otherwise. Here comes Kudut. Tries to take it down. Nice stick from Rosenberg, but not able to knock it out. And the possession will change for Israel. Here comes Smith. Tries to set it up. Down underneath. Shot taken again from Gersh. Now back off the walls. And that'll be the Netherlands ball. It's a timeout. 3 minutes left, or 3-0, 4:40 left in regulation in the first half regulation. So the name of the game has been Israel's transition, and their physicality matching, and you could argue so far even exceeding what the Netherlands has been able to put out there. Mackenzie Cowitz, Hannah Hilkoff, and Samantha Smith all have goals, so 3 different players credited with goals for Israel. That ability to get around has been what made their offense so dangerous. They have not had to over-relied on one player. They've had multiple players here that they've been able to get it around to, and their ability to put cutters in good spots and catching the defense off guard, and the ability to keep the head up while making the move across the floors. Come back now with 4:40 left in the first half. 3-0 in favor of Israel. Just getting it back around. Again is Israel. It's back behind the net. Shot taken, or passing out to Layton, dumps it off. Shot taken from Layton, tried to dump it in the net, won't go. It's now clear a little bit too high. Gonna go off the boards, that's Kudud. Kudud and Smith gonna battle for it. Smith's got it. She'll try to dump it off to Rosenberg, who's got a 2-on-3. Rosenberg just slowing it down. Netherlands able to kill the offensive tempo for Israel. It's a nice cut from Smith, and shot taken and in. And again, Samantha Fisher. My mistake, but Samantha Fisher showing again how dangerous this Israel offense could be with their cutters. It looked like the Netherlands were able to slow down the tempo, but again, no one was even there in the middle of the field. The slide wasn't on time, and a couple nice moves for Samantha Fisher, and that's the 4th goal here for Israel. Now another timeout for the Netherlands. Is both Samanthas, both Samantha Fisher and Samantha Smith, number 5 and number 27, both have goals. That was Samantha Fisher, who most recently was able to get in the net for Israel, as the Netherlands have just not done much of anything on offense so far. As they've struggled to clear it. They've struggled to possess it when they've had it. And they definitely had their moments defensively. They've made some nice plays. But when you're not able to win the face-offs, and you're not able to possess the ball, and you're not able to clear it, this is what typically happens. You get stuck on defense. But eventually against a team like Israel that's so good at creating different openings for themselves and cutting to the ball, and with their misdirection, their high lacrosse IQ, becomes an issue. And that's looking to be the case here in Prague. As facing all sorts of pressure and taking a massive hit. There was about 3 Netherlands defenders on her. That was Annabelle Gersh, who got absolutely crushed on that hit. Now here comes the Netherlands, try to get something going. Step down shot from Keene. The lefty not able to convert. So here comes Israel. Nice move from Rosen. Rosen will drop it off onto Cowitz, and now Rosen takes it. Gonna go back underneath. Nice misdirection from Leighton. But no cigar for Israel. Rosen back up top, she drops it off. Back up top to Rosen. Outside shot taken from Leighton and denied from the Netherlands. This ball picked up by Israel again, that was Roland. And shot taken off the sidearm, deflected, picked back up by Israel. Move taken from Leighton, another shot just a little bit off. Back to Israel again. It's Julia Roland. Every single time this ball gets loose, Israel gets back on top of it. That pass a little too far out for Cowitz, but she's able to still corral it. So here comes Roland. Looks around, step back shot from Rosen, not able to convert. Netherlands will look to flip the field. So here comes Healings. She'll bounce it out into the ball, into the walls. And the ball will flip. So here comes Israel again. 1-2. Shot taken a little bit too far off from Samantha Smith, but again, that ability from Ava Pinch to go pretty much entirely down the field to Rachel Rosenberg to set up the one cut, that's been one of the big differences as Israel's been able to stretch this floor to the max. It's going outside, it's Rosen, she drops it off to Smith. Tries to barrel her way through traffic and a little bit off. It's almost looked like we were going to some floor hockey as players are trying to kick that ball in, but either way, ball going to remain with the Netherlands. Is about a minute left now, a little over a minute left. In regulation, or first half regulation, keep saying that. It's 4-0. Favor of Israel. Netherlands have to get something going quick here as Keene still has it. Gonna roll out behind the net. Facing some tough defense from Frischman. And again, pass too high. Looking for Volbert. Loses track of it. That's Abigail Smith who's got it. Now one-on-one with the goalie. Nothing but floor ahead of her. Abigail Smith. And Saeed just able to get on top of it. And here comes Van Vliet. Shot taken. And nowhere to go as the shot was rejected again. And remember, for Team Israel, Rachel Rosen went down hard on that play and holding the back of her head. She's able to get up, grab her stick, and see if she stays in the game. And that'll be a extra power play opportunity for Israel. So 18 seconds left in the first half. So the rest of this power play will carry on to the second half. So it'll be a minute and 42. The first minute and 42 of the second half will be a power play for Israel, with the final 18 seconds here in the final second quarter also being a power play for Israel. So we'll see what they decide to do. If they try to go aggressive. Just going back around. Step down shot, side. Sidearm for Samantha Smith. Not able to do anything, and then a attempted clear down the floor for the Netherlands, and that'll do us for the first half. 4-0 in favor of Israel. What's been a low-scoring defensive battle first half. 40 shots for Israel in the first half. 40. Just 10 of those shots going wide. Just 4 going in. They have not lost a face-off, and the Netherlands have 8 penalty minutes compared to 4 for Israel. So to only be up 4-0 just goes on to show you a lot what Netherlands have been able to do in the net with Daria Saeed, as well as the rest of their defense. And we'll see if their offense will be able to get anything going in half number 2. As back here in just a moment for the second half of Netherlands-Israel. This was the first goal that got us started out. So it looked like it was a goal from Cowitz. It wasn't, at least not technically, because it was knocked in. Self-goal for the Netherlands. It bounces off the top of Saeed, and then so dangerous. Put your stick around the ball when it's that close to the goal. And started out 1 of 4 for Israel in the first half. So it's a second on the cut from Hannah Hilkoff. That being later in the first quarter. And then third goal in a second. But again, utilizing the back of the net, which is something that we didn't see too much in the Germany-Ireland game. And for those who watched that, not a lot of action behind the net, as much as you might see in field. But Israel utilizing the back half of the net quite a bit, and then the step-down shot from Samantha Smith on the sidearm, as the Netherlands just a little bit too late to get to it. The slide not in time, and that gave Israel a 3-0 lead. Before again, another cutter, a couple nice fakes. And you guess it, shot and goal for Samantha Fisher. These cutters have proved to be very, very dangerous for Israel, and it's been really the only time they've been able to get behind the net against this Netherlands team. And then showed this play against Saeed, didn't end up being a goal. But they've had all kinds of fast break opportunities like that, and all things considered, it's been a solid one for the Netherlands, as they've been able to keep things within relative grasp despite that massive shot differential. So we'll be back here just a moment for the second half of this one. Back in Prague for half number 2 in just about a minute. Let's get the scoring order. Yeah, Mackenzie Kowitz, who had the first goal around 10 minutes so far into the game, so about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And then Hannah Hilkoff followed that up literally just seconds after that one. So right around that 10-minute mark of the first quarter, and then around the 21st minute in the second quarter, Samantha Smith able to make it 3-0, and then Samantha Fisher, the other Samantha for Israel, during the 26th minute, able to make it 4-0. And it's the name of the game in the first half. We talked about it pre-game, which was essentially that the Netherlands are a bigger, more physical team that has World Championship experience. This past year, they were in the World Championship, high pedigree, and they were going against an Israel team that had quite a bit of American imports, and that was a team that was known for their ability to get the ball around, their ability, their finesse, their ability to get the ball around, their finesse, their lacrosse IQ. Pretty much the opposite of what the Netherlands do right and do well. And so it was a question of, hey, how is that going to hold up? Because in the first game, the American-filled export team of Ireland, facing off against a much more physical Germany team, was not able, outside of a couple flash plays, to really get much going. And so the question was, hey, was that trend going to continue, or was it going to go the opposite way? And well, that trend has continued, but it's been on the opposite side. Israel has been able to combine that finesse and high IQ lacrosse, pairing that with some physical, hard-pressing defense. And it's all started here at the face-off line as Annabelle Gersh remains perfect on the day. She pops it out. That's picked up by Hannah Hilkoff. As Hannah Hilkoff going to pass it off to Fisher, who drops it off to Kowitz. Now going to go back underneath to Gersh. Gersh will just drop it off to Kowitz. Now back up top, dumping it to Smith. Smith going to Smith. And trying to go to Gersh, or maybe take a shot, whatever it was, deflected by a defender for the Netherlands. Is now picked up by Baker. Like shoulder. A shot taken, deflected. Femke Baker, she's been one of the few facilitators of the offensive side of the ball for Netherlands. Some changes for Israel. And slowing down the tempo, it's going to be Abigail Smith. It's going out to Layton, who drops it back off outside to Hilkoff, who tries to make a move. Now she'll reverse back. Now back to Layton. Makes her defender miss. Backed out to Hilkoff. Sidearm step down shot taken. Nada. Rowland tries to get the sidearm shot off, but shot clock expires, and Netherlands will take over. That's Van Verselt. Dumps it off to Volbert. Volbert dump it off to Ramsey. And now back to Israel. Benson picks it up. Now back to Kowitz, who takes it down the aisle. Shot taken. Taken away by Sane Visser. Sane Visser's Visser replacing Daria Saeed at the half, and starts out with a save or deflection. Here comes the Netherlands as Keane will try to move upfield. As not a whole lot of anything for the Netherlands on offense. This pass drop, bobbled, and eventually picked up by Healings. Hangs on to it, rolls out to the right, tries to dump it back inside to Van Bilson, not able to do so, and here comes Israel. Cut up the field, here comes Elike. Got a 2-on-1 with Frischman. Frischman got a 1-on-1, makes a woman miss. And that shot goes up into the net. Hit the barrel roll and then tried to hit the step down lefty shot, but ultimately nothing going. So again, here comes Baker and Netherlands. The Netherlands offense as they look to get something going. Van Verselt going to take it from up top. Nice stick from Udding to knock it out as Van Verselt going to reverse back behind the net, looking for something, no one open. Again, tough defense by Israel. That's Benson, who's all over. Again, a loose ball forced by Israel. Shot clock runs out, and again, really strong defense from Israel. But just not a whole lot of structure to this Netherlands offense. Is just not really setting anything up. Looks a little bit disorganized. It's Bass who knocks the ball out of Samantha Smith's hands. Be lucky they didn't call a cross-check on it. A shot taken. Looked like for a second it might have gone in for Hilkoff as Smith, or Fisher, excuse me, tried to go sidearm whipped. She picks it back up. Fisher will roll back around. Nice skip passes for Cowitz. Pass to Nod on the play, so another penalty kill, or another penalty opportunity, and woman up situation and power play for Israel as the Bente Van Bilsen knew. Go in there for the penalty for the Netherlands. So far, that'll be the 10th minute for the Netherlands so far, compared to just, I believe, 4 for Israel. Israel gonna get it around. Step down shot taken and scored! Samantha Fisher with goal number 2 of the day. And that is the 4th score again for Israel. Just won a great job of getting it around and eventually just finding the opening in the zone. And Samantha Fisher putting it right down where she had to on the bouncer. But eventually, when you take enough shots, you're bound to land some. So now we're back to even strength. It's 5-0 Israel. Penalty as the open face-off penalty. Technically, that'll be the first face-off win of the day for the Netherlands. And it comes in the 3rd quarter. Going up against the boards, that's Frischman. Dumps it off to Rosen, who's got Cowitz. She's looking. Drops it back off. Shot taken down low from Smith. Now we got a scrum for the ball. Picked up by Layton. There she goes. Nice little move from Layton. Cutting through traffic and not a shot! Let's talk about moving in motion. As what a rip. So you can see just weaving through traffic, going through 1, 2, 3 defenders. And the sidearm shot. Let's talk about finesse. Showing a little bit of power as well. And the perfect shot angle. That'll be another face-off win for Annabelle Gersh and Israel. So they have been dominant on that side. As you've seen, mostly speed and athleticism and finesse for Israel, but Annabelle Gersh has definitely been the power for Israel today, and she's made all the difference at the face-off line. So here comes the Netherlands. Here comes Emily Demmer. Demmer gonna get a pick. There's not a whole lot for this offense in terms of organization, in terms of shots. So Israel's just been all over them. Even when they've managed to get the cutters into the right spots, the passes just not been there. It's taken away by Frischman. Here comes Rosenberg. She drops it back off. As waving all traffic is rolling. She'll take it behind the net. And try to wrap around. Again, she'll go back up top. That's Levy Smith. Now back outside of Layton, who just had the goal. She loses it. Able to get back on top of it. Layton inside. Shot taken from Roland. on the sidearm, not able to knock it in as the shot clock will expire. And would flip hands as looks like we're going to have a timeout here. 8:47 left in the third quarter. 6-0 Israel. As neither team has stood out too much. It's mostly just been the Netherlands' inability to establish anything on offense and just get it around a couple times, and they felt ultra rush. And you can understand, you can totally understand why they felt ultra rush like they have. I mean, they've been absolutely eviscerated at the face-off line, so their possessions are already very limited. And then on top of that, they're absolutely gassed playing defense as much as they are. So lacrosse is a two-way sport, especially in box. It's not like in field where you have three, defensive poles and then you got a whole different set of offensive players who are fresh. No, every single one of these players are going up and down the field. So it's a combination of the inability to get anything going, and then when they do have it, it's just they've been getting gassed. So this already looks to be one of their longer offensive possessions as they'll try to continue to get this one around. Nice hit. And it's taken away by Israel. Here's Rachel Rosen. Try to one-on-one with the net, and Rosen gonna take it in on the fast break, and nice physical defense from Rosenberg and forcing that one out, and then Rachel Rosen picks it up and takes it all the way back. That's what you call A-plus teammate. That's what you call A-plus teamwork right there. As it is 7-0 Israel. As again, Israel will pick up the face-off, and here they come. The win for Annabelle Gersh, who has been virtually unstoppable at the line today. As Israel has been able to grind out possession after possession of this one. It's Roland. Checks it back inside to Fisher on the cut. She plops down in the middle of the zone, but denied by the Netherlands and picked up by Nydam, and now dumps it off to Kudu. Kudu dumps it off to Nydam again, or Keene, excuse me. Now back to Kudu. Dumps it off to the floor, shot taken. That was Persad, and shot nowhere near. Here comes Smith. Layers it up top. That's Perower. There's Layton. Gonna try to cut back inside. She's shown off that finesse all day. Now under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Smith back up top, sidearm shot, too far. Now cross over the yellow line and we'll flip possession. 6.5 minutes, give or take, left in the third quarter. Netherlands still looking to remove the donut on the scoreboard. Making a couple defenders miss was Delaney Keene, but ultimately not able to put the shot on goal. It's back around to Keene, who's been the main facilitator of this offense. Trying to set up Femke Baker, middle of the zone, but ultimately not able to do so as shot clock will reset. Off the stick of Keene. Keene will drop it back off. Shot taken a little bit high off the wall for that was Ramsey. A little bit high off the glass, and Israel will flip the field once again. Again, a fast break, but slowing it down intentionally is Rosenberg. So Burke drops it off to Duffy. Duffy gonna go outside. Now back up top again for Israel. That's Gersh. It's a pick for a second. Now going back outside, shot taken on the sidearm from Rosen, but gonna bounce off the walls. Is now back to Rachel Rosen. Goes underneath to Fisher. Fisher sidearm, or not, excuse me, that was Smith. Sidearm shot from Abigail Smith. Gonna bounce off a defender, and Van Bilsen loses it. Picked up by Israel. Here they come again. Here comes Samantha Smith. Switches hands over to the left. Now over to Layton. Back to Smith. Underneath. Smith gonna roll around, trying to set up the cut, but ultimately not able to do so. Nice stick by Klassen. Here comes the Netherlands as they'll try to flip the field. Here comes Sophie Kudut. Kudut tries to make the defender miss, not able to do so. Drops it off to base. Now back outside to Persad. Outside again, to the right. Keene nowhere to go. Bouncer shot taken, and again denied by Ava Pinch. Pinch lofting this one. That'll be Benson. Benson will take her time. Drops it off to Gersh. It's outside, too high for Duffy, gonna bounce off the glass, and here comes the Netherlands as Ilse Flux gonna pick it up. Tries to make her defender miss, able to get the pass off. It's Kimberly Verboom going to try to barrel her way down. Again, we'll lose the possession, so here comes Israel once again. Is now losing it was Rachel Rosen, and Baker at it for a second, and ultimately going to have to let go possession. So Israel tries to get the fast start going, and not able to do so as time will be called, it appears. 7-0 Israel, 3:21 left in the third quarter. It is indeed a timeout. So game 2 of the women's series in Prague. It's been an eventful first day, a 9-4 victory for the German women over the Ireland women. And it's just been a fast start already for a tournament that's just going to get underway. Ava Pinch, 14 for 14 so far in saves. Now, Daria Saeed, she was pulled and now is back into the ball game after getting pulled earlier in the half. Then Cindy Visser comes in, gives up a couple goals, and immediately they go back to Daria. Is back in front of the net. Too high. Saeed, 38 saves and 90% save percentages. 7 goals, 4 or 5 given up by her, but for how much volume she's faced, you can't help but commemorate that, as Israel's definitely gotten the volume up. As back up top, here comes Vanderboom. Outside, tough defense from Ramsey, and she loses it. Now it's picked up by Israel and got it. Nice spin move from Rosenberg. Just slow it down here, slowing the tempo. Rosenberg gonna go outside to Benson and go outside. Again, that's Hilkoff on the bouncer. And ball will flip field. Two minutes left now in the third quarter. 7-0 Israel. Shot taken too high. That was Kudut. Again, another shot. This one, diving shot for Manuk Volbert. Didn't go in, but you gotta love the effort. Still remains the same. Fisher, just gonna flip it out to Perower. Or that's Layton, excuse me, is Layton. Tried to cut back inside. Again, a sweeping shot underneath sidearm. Scooped up by the Netherlands. Is all by herself. That was Sophie Kudut, but ultimately the pass was way too far ahead of her for to really be able to do anything, as Kudut will drop it off to Keene, but Keene not able to handle it. It's a one-handed catch. What a throw and what a catch from Abigail Smith, that she's not able to put it in the back of the net, but either way, a pretty catch to set up a fast break opportunity. Is a couple subs here defensively for Israel. Has got the defensive group out there again. But a number of times where mostly the Netherlands have had their offensive group stuck out playing defense, and that's been a part of this game for sure. It's come into play a couple of times. As Israel going to look to keep the shutout intact. So, resume play now. 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Getting around, it's Baker. Just drops it off underneath to Van Versel, who loses the ball and her stick. Now picked up by Frischman, who loses it herself. Now here comes, nope, the Netherlands had it. Baker knocks it loose. As Israel just gonna try to clear this one behind everybody. And a one-on-one comes rolling, and solid defense from Ilse Flukes to slow the tempo down and take away the one-on-one, but ultimately gonna finally get some separation, gonna go right into the net. And that'll do us for the third quarter here in Prague. A little slow to get up is looks to be Roland, who's down, and we'll get back to her in this game, and Simone able to get back up on her own power. So getting a round of applause from the crowd on both sides here in Prague, as obviously don't want anyone hurt. You can see Roland, she set up the feed on that play, as you can see her getting hyped. Bottom part of your screen, jumping up with Samantha Fisher after that. And it's been all Israel, as you might know. What's been a pretty dominating game for Israel is how many shots, though, that they've had, and only 7 goals. which goes on to speak volumes of how hard defensively the Netherlands have played today. I mean, the scoring outcome looks a little bit rough, but it's been a pretty fairly even battle between this Israel offense and this Netherlands defense. That's for sure. It's been a very, very fair, even battle. As see how much that continues in the fourth. We'll see if Netherlands is able to wake up on offense and get something going. Either way, we will see. Buzz, the start of the fourth quarter is going to get underway. So 51 shots for Israel, just 12 for the Netherlands. 4 penalty minutes for Israel, 12 for the Netherlands, as they've had a number of plays where they've just been gassed and they just overcommitted and you just made it untimely. It happens, especially when you've had the lack of success they've had. Ground balls 20-8 in favor of Israel. Wish the face-off is 90-10 in favor of Israel. Israel is 0 for 6 on the power play, with Netherlands being 0 for 2. It's not a whole lot of offense for either side, especially for the volume Israel's had it, as the Netherlands does win that face-off initially. But it's picked up by Israel, and they're rolled out. Smith going to get it out to Leighton. Leighton had the athletic goal earlier. One of the 6 different goal scorers for Israel. So again, Israel getting it around and trying to set up different looks. That's where they're at their best. The quick pass and cut, as you might say, is player lost her stick. Looks like that was Sharia Perower. Or actually, no, it looks like it was Leighton whose stick must have came undone. Still a 6-on-4 game. It's still a 5-on-4 game for Israel. As Kimberly Verblum still in the penalty box for another minute. He's going outside. That's Persad. She gets it out quickly. That's Helix. Kudu outside to Persad, who rolls it down to the walls, and she must have thought somebody was there. Pass too high for Rosenberg, so essentially a clear back to the Netherlands is wide open. That's Sammy Fishers. Quickly the possession already over. Hilkoff's got it for Israel. A one-on-one opportunity it had. For a second that was outing, but she eventually feeds it off. It's Cowit's got it up top. More adjustments for Israel as they get their offensive players back on the field. As here comes Samantha Fisher. Fisher gonna go outside. Back up top to Fishers. Now we are a tied up game in terms of personnel, as Ferbrum gonna force the high shot from Fisher. As here comes Keane and the Netherlands as they look to get on the board here in Prague. The Netherlands, not much of anything. So again, pass deflected off the helmet. Defender, and Smith actually going to lose her stick. The Netherlands will get back on top of it, and here they come once again like nothing happened. It's Keane She'll hold on to it. Looking for cutters, doesn't see anybody open, so she'll drop it back up top. Again, the Netherlands are doing a solid job of actually getting it around this time and trying to find an open spot in the zone, but unfortunately they just force it in there again. That was Healings at this point in a 7-0 game in the fourth quarter. You kind of understand the desperation in terms of the shot selection for the Netherlands. Is back around for Israel. It's back up top is Samantha Smith. Get back underneath, that's Lathan. Takes a hit from behind. Is maybe looking for a cross check. Either way, not going to call it. So outside to Bersad. She'll hold on to it for a second. Checks it out to Baker, now back underneath. Netherlands trying to incorporate some movement in their offenses. Lost again. That's Demner. Baker from up top, from beyond the white circle. Trying to go top shelf. Nothing there. Hannah Hilkoff hangs on to it. Will just move around, make a man miss. Here comes Cowitz. She drops it off. Step down shot for Julia Rowland. Not able to put it in the back of the net as shot clock down to 2. Right in front of the net, another shot again. But again, nothing going. Isabel Duffy looking for the bouncer. Won't do so. Kuded goes outside of Verboom as here comes the Netherlands as Ramsey gonna go outside top shelf by Healings. Healings up top. Shot taken by Kudut. Ultimately, possession will switch hands as another timeout. Now with 10 minutes left in regulation. Still remains a 7-0 game in favor of Israel. Not a lot's changed if you started at the beginning of this game and then left for a little bit and came back. You wouldn't have missed much. And Daria Saeed, 38 saves. Kira Roberts, 31, and Media Erdhart for Germany, 16. You can see the volume that Daria Saeed has had to face today, and like I said, 7 goals on 38 shots is not a bad ratio by any means. Ten minutes left in the first half. Here comes Samantha Smith. So up top, outside. Go underneath. Back to Samantha Smith up top. Gonna roll around to Perrower. Now into Layton, cutting inside, she drops it. But had a great one-on-one shot with the goalie. Now picking it up, barreling her way through the defense. That's Sophie Kudud. She's running hard and aggressive, able to finally stopped by Rosenberg. But tough running from her. So here comes Bersad, and some subs made for the Netherlands as King gonna go around the circle behind the net. Shot taken, gonna bounce off the defender. That was Frischman. Possession Initially goes Israel, and it will stay Israel. So Israel going to have the ball here. Frischman has it, drops it off to Smith. Smith will dump it to Cowitz. Cowitz going to go down underneath the Gersh. Now behind the net the ball goes. Now back up top to Cowitz. Bottom left. To Cowitz again. Now Gersh. Israel continues to try to find the open spot in the defense. Shot clock eventually runs out and ball will flip field. Here comes Eva Klassen. Again, Baker up top for Fanversel, but ultimately not able to hang on to it, but then brought back in. Vanversel again. Out to Keene. Keene facing tight defense from Udding, and shot just a little bit too high. Shot clock runs out either way, so still 7-0. That shutout looks like it's going to continue for Israel. Here comes Rachel Rosenberg, and she'll drop it off to Layton. Hillcroft back to Smith. Back to Gersh. Back underneath. Behind the net. Smith up top. Sidearm step down shot ultimately denied. That's Sramota. Sarah Sramota caught a piece of the shot and the timeout. Or no, a penalty. Beyond Femke Baker. 2 more minutes in the box for the Netherlands. They already have 8. This one, now call it 10. 7 minutes left in regulation. Israel, see if they try to go for 8 or if they want to just keep moving it around. Shot clock, though, there's only really so much time you can take away. A jump shot taken from Hannah Hillcoff, and nada. Now back underneath, taking the punishment. There's another shot taken from Samantha Fisher this time, as Layton and Fisher both taking sidearm shots and both taking, or both facing or taking the price for either way. Netherlands have it. Shot drops it off to Volbert. Volbert drops it off to Demmer. Demmer dropped it underneath the Healings, and Volbert step down shot from Healings. Nowhere to go as Prasad just tries to knock the ball back onto the glass and ultimately doesn't go where she intends either way. Now under a minute left in fast. A little under a minute left in the penalty for the Netherlands. Is now 30 seconds, give or take. 8 seconds left on the shot clock for Israel's Fisher up top. It's outside to Smith. Smith down low, sidearm shot. No good. Back into the boards. There's Sophie Kudut. And you can hear the excitement on the side of the Israel bench as they've made their presence known. Several members of the men's team currently here cheering on the women. There's 14 seconds left in the penalty for the Netherlands, and now Patel Elkale heading over to the box for Israel. So 2 minutes for Israel and about 20 seconds left for the Netherlands, as they'll have about 1:40, give or take. Up as Baker will come back. So now I guess we're in even strength. So about 1:40, yes, give or take, of it being a fast or penalty opportunity for the Netherlands. Is get another timeout. 4:51. 1.5 minutes for Israel left, still in the box, but at this point, probably more so worried about keeping the shutout intact than you are about the game. The Netherlands haven't really shown much of anything on offense throughout this one, and Israel, as for a team that was supposed to come in as a flashy, athletic, high IQ team, they have more so shown their prowess in their physical ability and their communication. Obviously, you had a couple flashy goals here and there, but for the most part, they've been playing some lockdown defense, and that's just been a big reason why we are where we are at this point in the game. So 4:51 left in regulation. 1.5 minutes left on the penalty. A shot in front of the goal taken by Hilkoff and ultimately denied, as again another shot passed up. This one taken and shot by Hilkoff in front of the net. As Smith gonna roll back around, take it from the up top. It's Keene giving chase, but ultimately gonna lose track of her. And Israel just clearly trying to kill this clock out. He's facing some double teaming. Now 45 seconds left in the power play for the Netherlands, as they'll actually now possess the ball. Up 5-4. So that's Van Verseld. Gonna set up. Pershad loses the ball. Again picked up by Israel. Here they go. 2-on-1 opportunity for Smith. Shot taken. For a second it looked like it went in, but ultimately not able to put it in the back of the net. Tough running, and that'll be a goal! Bente Fanvelsen. Tough physical running, barreling her way down the floors. On the clear, she takes it, and for an offense that's lacking it, you know what she said? Okay, I'll do it myself. Nice little fake on Fisher, and then, or on Smith, excuse me, and then just carries her with her, falls into GLE. But either way, they will count it. So the first goal for the Netherlands, it comes on a power play. So with 3:20 left, at the very least for the Netherlands, you get a goal on the board, and looks a little bit better being 7-1 compared to 7-0. Just taking a look at down the stretch for both of these teams. Israel going to take on Ireland tomorrow at 10 a.m. and then England on Sunday at 1:30. As for the Netherlands, they'll take on Ireland as well on Friday. Then Finland on Saturday. So anyway, Israel ball. Leighton just gonna hang on to it, try to burn as much clock as they can. Leighton back to Smith, back to Leighton. Now back underneath again. He's continuing to move it around as Israel. Cut shot taken, and it'll go in. Again. And almost as soon as the shot clock expires, yeah, what a nice spot to take it in there. And once again, the delayed cut for Israel coming up big as top of the fact this Netherlands defense is absolutely gassed. These Israel cutters have been dangerous all day long. So, it's the second goal for her. Face off one here by Israel. Get back on top of it. Back around outside. It's Cowitz. But hang on to it, passing out to Smith. Smith taking the one-on-one down the alley. Will face some contact, she loses the ball. But Smith gets back on top of it. The play clock, well, the shot clock ultimately will expire. Is behind the defense that was keen. But pass was a little bit too far for her from Van Verseld. Here comes Hillcroft, she'll hold on to it. Now passing it deep, wide open to Leighton again, and that is a hat trick. As that'll make it 9-1 Israel. And again, this has been a number of times where she's had a whole lot of space and she's able to show off that athleticism and that ability to really confuse the goalie where that ball's going, that quick movement, that ability to switch up her hands so fast. It's so dangerous as a goalie because you have no idea where that ball is going. She fakes going high. She ultimately climbs the ladder, fakes going low, a little bit higher, and then ultimately goes top shelf to the other side of the corner when it opens up. What a play. As that'll make it 9-1 Israel. So a couple quick goals after the Netherlands are able to get their first as another face-off, you guessed it, won by Israel. So here comes Samantha Fisher. Back out to Frischman. Frischman too far out, but ultimately nice catch, able to bring that one in for Israel. It's Cowitz dropping it off to Smith. Go back underneath. Going behind the cage. Hit as she throws it to Fisher. That was Julia Rowland who had the feed that saw her get absolutely rocked. Cowitz back up top to Smith. Now 2 minutes left in regulation. Or a little bit less. Cowitz trying to feed it from behind the, trying to feed it to behind the net. Ultimately, not doing so. A late bit of contact. He checked out by the medical staff, so we will be back here in just a moment. If they check her out, see what they do for her. Back for the final minute of Game 2 of the women's in the 2026 European Box Lacrosse Championships. 9-1 in favor of Israel now. Netherlands will just try to get the ball around. Technically, a minute left. A minute in between the game clock and the penalty clock, as technically the Netherlands are up 5-4. An empty net for the Netherlands as they trying to add something else on offense. So 30 seconds are now underneath for the Netherlands as here comes Keene. Drops it off. That's Van Verselt who has the goal. Back outside to Van Verselt. Step down shot. Deflected, knocked away for pinch. Pass too far. And that'll do it. The final seconds winding down. I don't know what happened with the clock. Rosenberg takes the shot into the empty net. Doesn't matter. And ultimately, it being 9-1 in favor of Israel in the second ever game of the women's version of the EBLC here in Prague. It's a dominant physical win for Israel. Showed a little bit of everything today. They showed some fortitude in the net. They were great in transition. The offense had a lot of ingenuity. They were using all aspects of the floor. And they also went out there and played some really, really tough physical defense. They hustled. Went out there and played a very, very strong performance. The only thing you might be a little bit concerned about is the fact you had a little over 60 shots and only put up 9 goals. But either way, you got to look on the other side for the Netherlands team that actually, you don't let the nearly 60 shots for Israel, but don't let the score disillude you. As for a team that only won 14% of its faceoffs, gave up 59 shots compared to 19, and only had 12 ground balls compared to 29. For how this game went, the Netherlands went out there and actually played a very solid defensive game. So don't let those stats fool you, as just given the volume that they faced, can't help but feel something find some positive things for both sides here. Is ultimately still a pretty decisive win for Israel, and this is game 2 of 3 of the women's. It's been an exciting first day here in Prague. Just a little bit, we'll be back here with the post-game interview. Back here tomorrow. I know a couple of them were off a fast break, but I'm essentially just going to ask you like what you saw. All right, I'm here with Shira. Shira, you had 3 goals today. You were out there, played a great game. You guys obviously had the decisive 9-1 victory, and you're going up against a defense that was real tough for how much volume they faced. What were you seeing out there that allowed you to have a lot of success?
I mean, they were a physical team, but it's just being able to embrace that and initiate the physicality first. And since they're pressuring on being aggressive, we were just recognizing off-ball cuts and keeping the ball moving was the key to the game, and that brought us the most success. So just not letting the ball die and keeping it hot, just really initiate our offense and kept moving. Yeah.
Also, going into this game, the Netherlands were a team that last year they were in the World Championship, and it's a much different team. But you guys were supposed to be like the kind of less aggressive, more finesse-based team, and you guys went out there and you really just like punched them in the mouth. Like what out there? What did you guys have like pre-game that really got you guys going and got the hype up?
I think we go into every game with that underdog mentality. Like we talked about staying neutral, like riding the highs and riding the lows, but never getting too high or too low. So just staying neutral and just embracing everything, and just competing no matter what, and fighting for everything, and just competing out on the floor, and it never stops until the last whistle.
Love that mentality.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good game.